Welcome, Catherine. It's really great to see you today. As always, this is a confidential space. It's a time for you to explore about what's most important for you. So, thinking about our session today, what would you like to focus on?
I really struggle with confidence, especially in like situations where I have to advocate for myself, and I just find it really difficult to see my own value.
Okay. And just want to say thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And when you talk about confidence, what type of situations are you considering? What shows up most for you?
I think it's probably at work, and I think whether it's like speaking up in meetings or having to like promote my achievements or like stepping into new opportunities, I kind of always hesitate because I don't feel good enough.
Yeah. And it feels like you want to make a positive shift to something different. So after this, throughout the session today and afterwards, what would you like to come out with? What would be most valuable to you?
Um, I think some more clarity on my strengths and like a way to start seeing my own value so that I can just build that confidence up.
Yeah, and that sounds a really good focus to have. Um, so thinking about what we would be concentrating on, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm hearing that you want to identify your strengths, that you would like to recognise your value, and also to explore and develop your confidence.
Yeah, that is exactly it.
Okay, that sounds good. So we'll just take a moment then to explore where you are right now. And how do you currently assess your skills and your strengths?
Um, I know that there are some that I have, but I just feel like I always compare myself to others. And I just kind of feel like I'm average. I don't really excel at anything.
And that's a really, awakening realization and very honest of you. So in relation to your strengths and your skills now, what feedback have you received from colleagues or managers regarding your strengths?
People do say that I'm reliable, that I communicate really well, got strong problem solving skills. I just don't really believe it.
Okay. So for me, I'm hearing a gap between your viewpoint of yourself in relation to your strengths and other people's, and they sound very positive. And that's really, a powerful insight. So thinking about your career, if you were to have your favourite person, the person that you really trust, and if they were looking at your career, where would they say that your most impactful moments are?
Um, I led on a project last year that had a big impact on like the efficiency at work. And I mentored like a junior colleague, and they told me that that really helped their confidence. Yeah.
Okay. And for me, that's excellent demonstration of your skills, of your strengths, particularly in leadership and impact and also mentorship. So now that we've identified some of your strengths, let's explore ways to reinforce your confidence. If you were coaching someone else today and they had all the skills and strengths that you have, but they didn't see their value, what advice would you give to them?
Um, I think I'd probably tell them to reflect on their achievements and acknowledge the impact they've had rather than just like dismissing it.
And think about practical ways, because that's a really good insight. But if we, transfer that to the practical life, what could you start doing yourself?
I could keep a confidence journal, just like writing something down each day that went well, or having like that list of achievements so that I can kind of refer back to it when I doubt myself.
That sounds like a great starting point. What else do you think you could do to focus and reinforce your confidence in real time?
Um, I think maybe like owning my strengths in conversations, making sure that like I speak up in meetings and share like my ideas without second guessing myself.
And that sounds like a real powerful shift from when we first started the session today. Tell me, when everything is looking great and it's successful, what's going on for you?
I think I just generally feel a bit more capable. and that I feel like other people would see my value too.
So I'm going to take you back to the strategies you've already identified. You mentioned confidence journal and an achievements list, and also owning your strengths in daily conversations at work. Which of those do you think would be the most important for you to focus on first?
Probably the confidence journal, just like writing one thing down a day.
So it'll be a daily thing, and that sounds like I'm hearing that commitment already. How could you ensure that that becomes a daily habit?
So I could just set a reminder on my phone, so that I do it every day before bed and just write something down.
Any other ways?
I could schedule it into my calendar to make sure that there's a time block for it, and make sure it's somewhere really visible.
Yep, so I'm hearing a really good plan. How about measuring your progress in relation to your confidence?
I think it will be like noticing moments where I feel a bit more self-assured, and those times that I speak up without hesitating first.
So those are great indicators to keep you on track. If I was to ask you on a scale of 1 to 10 how committed you are to actually taking this action forward, 10 being, the ultimate, the best, where would you score yourself 1 to 10?
Probably about a 9.
Okay, yeah, a 9. A 9 is a really strong commitment. Is there anything that you think might get in the way?
I mean, I might feel like my achievements aren't really big enough. But then I can remind myself that each step counts. So make sure I write it down regardless.
Yeah. Which is definitely a great mindset. Are there any things that you can use if there are obstacles to actually keep you on track?
I guess ticking it off of my to-do list, making sure that there's always something no matter what, because that reminder that adding something each day will build up a big picture for me. And it's that big picture.
So big and small?
Yeah.
Okay. So before we close today, I'd just like to reflect for a moment. What would you say has been the most valuable takeaway from the session today?
Probably that realization that I do actually have the strengths. I just wasn't acknowledging them, and that I have the power to start changing how I see myself.
Okay. And again, I'm really seeing that shift from when we started the session, which is fantastic. And I can even feel your positive energy. How are you going to keep the momentum up?
Just sticking to that confidence journal, and being really intentional about how I recognise my value.
Again, I'm feeling that commitment. What would happen if we were to come back in a month? How do you think your success will be in relation to what it will look like for you?
I think I'd feel more self-assured, in just general conversations. I'd be able to actually list my strengths without any kind of hesitation, and just that reassurance that I deserve to be in the spaces that I'm currently in.
Great vision. One final question, and I'd really appreciate it if you could give me just one word that kind of encapsulate how you're feeling right now.
Or empowered.
Okay. So it's been wonderful to meet with you again today. I really appreciate your candid, your openness, and I really look forward to hearing how that confidence journey goes. So thank you.